Never built this type of project before? Here's where a superintendent should start. I'm so excited about this video because let me tell you this. I come from a background where the first general superintendent that ever mentored me said, Jason, our processes make us great. You can really take anybody with reasonable intelligence and attach them to these processes and they can build a great job. So I came up as a process builder, not just an experience builder. And the first construction company I ever went to work for said, we can build anything because our processes are so strong. And so in this video, I'm going to talk to you about how can you approach a new project and do it successfully. So if you're interested in that, stay with us. Okay, so this is a jam. Process builders, experience builders, or both. It's a super interesting topic to me. Process builders means that we follow a process to build every single project. And you can build, or we can build, I can build, you can build a bridge, a hospital, a freeway, a dam, like an airport, whatever. Like you can build anything because you follow this process. Now, I'm not saying that experience isn't required here. The experience is required here, but I'm saying that the adage or the belief that, you know, hey, this person hasn't built an airport before, they can't now go build an airport. I'm not really in that camp. I'm really more in the we can build anything camp. Now, there's the camp that says, you know, if I'm building a multifamily project, I need somebody that has built a multifamily project before. If I'm building an airport, I want somebody who's built an airport before. This is experience builders. This is an experience builder mindset. And it's super fine. Most of the industry agrees with this one, not necessarily me. I would probably say the best answer is to just merge both. But here's what I do know. Let me say one other thing that proves the experience builder mindset. In the book, How Big Things Get Done, in studying the projects in the database of 16,000 projects throughout the world about what made them succeed or fail, one of the key differentiators was having an experienced builder with a loyal team. So the example that they give is Frank Crow, who was, I always giggle when I say this, but he was one of the most experienced dam builders at the time. He was like one of the best, and so then went and built the Hoover Dam ahead of schedule in a remarkable way. It's super famous, and something similar also happened with the Empire State Building. That was an experienced builder with an experienced loyal team. Okay, so check this out. There's a lot to be said about experience, but the point is that if you have somebody that's super sharp, which I'm assuming you are, and you know the process, you can gain that experience just like if you had built the project before. Let me talk to you about what I would do if I was approaching a new project. Okay, so first step, number one, who is going to lead the charge, right? And if it's you, I'm assuming it's you, then take accountability, take ownership, and start to understand what it's going to take, and then also what skills you don't or experience you don't have. Second, understand the mission clearly, or understand the project clearly. What are the conditions of satisfaction? What does the owner expect? How is this going to have to be built? What's the deadline? What do the drawings say? What do the specs say? Okay, that's all awesome. Number three, and this is probably the most important one, is gather the wisdom of the team. Make sure that everybody has input. This is the most important part. If you haven't built this type of project before, that's easy. Go find somebody who has and tour their projects. For instance, the research laboratory where I was a project superintendent in Tucson, I had never built a laboratory before, and so all I did was go talk to people who had, really get the wisdom of the team. In fact, I even called general superintendents that I hadn't worked with in 15 years to clarify and get the information, and I would tour other projects like fanatically, like I'm touring a project like every other week at least, if not every week. So gather the information. Fourth, get the resources that you need. Let me give you a new example. Like you're going to build a data center. That's a whole lot different. Like I want to talk to the electrical experts, some of the MEP superintendents that I might be working with. I want to talk to the electrician. I want to talk to one of the planners who have done a data center before. Like go get the resources and the tools that you need. And then five, go get the training. And so if you're going to go do work on an airport, you're going to have to learn what it actually takes to build on an airport, how to make sure that there isn't any foreign object debris out there on the actual site, how to maintain cleanliness, how to do shutdowns, how to make sure we're not interrupting the passengers in the airport. If you're going to do a bridge, you need to go learn about traffic control and go learn how to work in high stakes environments where traffic is still running underneath you. On and on and on. Go get the training that you actually need. And then the last one is go get a mentor. And so, like, let's say hypothetically the Empire State Building or the Hoover Dam. Let's say that the builder that had the experience isn't available to build the project. Well, the superintendent on the Empire State Building or the Hoover Dam better darn well have that person as a mentor at a minimum. And so that's how you should approach going to build new projects that you haven't had experience with before. And here's what I'm going to do. Those steps that I gave you, that's the planning habit. That's the process. And if you follow that process, you can build anything if you're sharp. But remember that that process includes leveraging and tapping into the experience. So I'll give you that in a blog post below in the description. And please reach out if you have any more questions. But I've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. On we go.